Well, howdy folks, as promised, this is a very special video, this one. We're going to do a lovely pork belly here on the old Kamado, and I'm telling you, first time using one of these things and they're notorious for being very powerful. So we're going to have some fun here. We may screw this up, we may not, I don't know, we'll have a go. But we've got a lovely pork belly here. I've had this out in the fridge for a couple of days now. She's dried out beautifully. Got that lovely pink colour all over, no longer white. So we should get a lovely crackling off this, and that's today's aim. Today's aim is to get the perfect crackle. I've never done it before. Hopefully today's the first time. So anyway, we've got the Kamado. This recipe is not my own. I've watched a video, David Ong. He's on YouTube, you can check him out. He's gives a very, very good descriptive way of how to do these pork bellies, cuts out all the nonsense. So we're going to try and follow that to the letter. So we've got our pork belly, we've dried it out well in the fridge, nice and hard, exactly the way he says. We've got our holes all punched in it, so we get hopefully a real good crackle. I've got the Kamado, I've got some charcoal in here. It's a weird setup. This one here is not quite the same machine as his, so we've improvised the setup a little bit to try and get the same results. Anyway, I'll bring this in. You can see what's going on down inside here. We'll light these charcoals up and we'll get this video on the go. Rightio folks, here we go. We're looking down inside here. You can see I've got my charcoal stacked up here. We've only got, like I said, I'm trying to reproduce this video as best I can with the setup I've got. So we'll get this going anyway. Now David, being the experienced pitmaster that he is, will light this at the bottom and let this burn from the bottom up. But because these Kamados are well known to be powerful, because of all the ceramic inside them, once they get up to temp, they're very hard to bring back down. So we have to be very cautious. So for me, we're going to light our fire on top and let it burn down. So we've got our fire lighters going there. I'll try and adjust a little bit of charcoal here so that we can get some ashing over. Rightio, I'm happy with that. We'll put in this, I wouldn't know what you call it, wire piece here that sits like this. Now, this is where it gets funny, fellas. Normally we'd have a deflector plate here. Well, this is what David would have, and he would set this up in here, half a plate in here to hold that charcoal up like it was in a basket in the Weber. But we're going to try and do this. We're going to stick this over here. And then we're going to put this aluminium pan on here as a shield drip tray. Actually, we won't do that. We'll just leave that off until those briquettes have burnt out. But that will be the plan. And then we'll just let that ash up. Now I've got the vents wide open here, and the tippy top vent up the top. We'll have that wide open as well. And then once this charcoal gets going, we're going to close this bottom vent down to like a bee's dick, just the littlest amount, so we don't get too overheated. And we're going to leave the top vent wide open, because if we close that down, according to David, that will help trap in moisture, and moisture is the enemy of crackle. Like we have here with the pork belly, we've dried it out as hard as we can, try and get all that moisture out of that skin so we can get a real good crackle. So we'll leave it at that, folks. We'll let that those briquettes burn down, and then I'll close the lid over and we'll let that charcoal really get going, and then we'll put the grate in and get this belly sizzling. Alrighty, folks, we've got the old Kamado going all right. It's been a good 10-15 minutes. We're going to season up this pork belly now. So I'm going to leave the skin side as dry as possible. So I'm going to turn her over. I'm going to give it a very light oil, very light oil. This is really just a binder just to get this rub to stick. And that's all that's going to be. We've got some Smoky Joe rub, Honey Hog. A little bit left over there, some of my brother's rubs. So like I said, we'll just very light misting. I'll give that a wee rub. Just to get that on the edges. Just to wet it down a little. Like David says, moisture is the enemy of crackle. So we want to try and keep things as dry as possible. So we've got that. Now we'll get some of this honey hog on here. Now we're not going to go too heavy, just a wee rub. There we go, that should be plenty, I reckon. Get that in. I'm not too worried about the edges too much, or just the bottom. We're only just putting a little bit of flavour on here. I've got my brother's in-laws coming around for a feed hopefully later, so we'll try and impress them. There we go, I think that looks nice enough. Alright, so we'll open up the old Kamado here. Now I've got my grate in. I'll just bring this over so you can have a wee look down in there. So I've got my drip pan in there, and I've got my splitter in underneath there to try and stop any heat from coming up that side. The charcoal's going quite nicely there now, so we're going to start this cook. Here we go. So we're going to start off, and we're going to go skin side up, and we're going to stick this over here indirect, and I'm going to close that down, and we're going to leave that for about 15-20 minutes just to get that going, and then we're going to start working on the crackle. Now the crackle is going to be done with a direct cook or direct heat straight over the charcoals, so that's why we've got it set up the way we have, with all that heat up to the front of the Kamado like that. Now like I said, this isn't my recipe, and I'm only trying to reproduce it as best I can, so hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll come out okay. But we'll give that 10-15 minutes. We'll come back and see how it's going, and then we'll start on this crackle. Alrighty folks, she's been a good 15-20 minutes. We've got the old pit temp up here to 300 in the Kamado, so we're going to open her up, have a wee look. That's looking pretty good to me. So I forgot to mention, the reason why we set it up this way is we're cooking it skin side up at the back just here for 10-15 minutes. And the reason we're doing that is to stop the pork skin or the crackling from curling up when we turn her over, and that was the main reason for this. So we've got our cook underway. It's looking really nice. Our pork crackling's still hard the way we want it, no moisture build up on there. So now I'm going to do some interesting stuff. So I've jimmy rigged myself up this contraption, which is going to lift this grate up a little bit. I've got a bulldog clip here. As my brother said, I don't have to try and reinvent the wheel, but I'm just trying to recreate the pit conditions is exactly the same as what David had. So our charcoal is going real good there. Really good. So now we're going to flip this over. And if we've done this right, according to David, we should start to get some crackling happen straight away. But what I'm going to do is, I've got a special little piece of pipe that I've cut, and I'll put it around here somewhere. I'll find it. But I'm going to prop this lid open a little bit, and we're going to watch this process happen. And that's, I think that the number one thing to to getting the ideal crackling, but I can hear some popping starting to happen already. I found my wee piece of pipe. Here it is, it's fallen on the ground. So I'm going to sit this on here and close this down, and as you can see we've got a bit of a gap there now. And I'll bring this in and I'll set this up so that you can see this happening, and or I can hear some crackle going, and hopefully we'll get a good crackle. So there you are, folks. It's as good a view as I can give you. Unfortunately, I don't have a torch to light up in there, but you may be able to see there on that right hand side that it's starting to sizzle and pop. The same there on the left hand side. Now we have to keep a close eye on it because we don't want it to burn on the edges. Nobody likes burnt crackling, so we're just going to keep a very good eye on this. Oh, looks like we have found a light. Here we go, folks. So there's the setup there. You can see it just start to sizzle there on that right corner. And if everything goes well, we're going to get the perfect crackle here. So we'll just let this go, and I'll keep coming back to you as we get through, because we'll rotate this round probably half a dozen times through this process, just to get everything absolutely perfect all over. So I'll carry on here. I'll bring you back when everything's starting to really spit and get going, and we'll see how she looks later on. There you are, folks. You can hear it spitting away there. Well, I've already given it one rotation, and I can tell you it looks impressive. I'm impressing myself, to be fair. But anyway, we'll just let it keep doing its thing. Yes, there's the cheeky little Erin in the background. But this is going along swimmingly now, folks, and I am very impressed. But I'll give it another couple of minutes, and then we'll lift the lid up and we'll give you a wee look. Alrighty, guys, we've been working on this crackle here for a good 15 minutes. I'm pretty happy with the way it's come out. So we'll give you a bit of a look at it too. There we are, folks. Hard. That is beautiful. That's the best crackle I've ever done. What do you reckon, bro?
It's alright.
Looks alright. It's got the seal of approval, I tell you. Righto, so we're going to finish this cook off now. I'm going to whack that there. I'm actually going to spin this grate around because we don't want it to sit flat. So we're going to whack this grate around, and I'm going to get this piece of meat, and we're going to sit them up here like that over our drip pan. Yes, we're over our drip tray, and we're going to close that down, and we're going to let it do its thing now. We want to bring this up to a nice internal temp of about 205, but we're not really going to probe for temp. We're going to probe for tenderness. We're just going to get our skewer out, and we're just going to work away at it until we feel it nice and tender, and hopefully we'll come out with a real top piece of pork belly. So righto, folks, I'll leave you at that. I'll come back to this one when we're about to cut her up, and yeah, I think she's going to be tasty, boys. Alrighty, folks, the golden moment has arrived. It's time to take this pork belly off of here. Now, I'm not actually sure whether it's probing up to 205 or not, but that's a pretty good looking pork belly. But as things go, the in-laws are here and we have to eat, so I've got to pull her off now. But I think she's pretty close. So it's a wee bit tight. We're eating about 185, 190. So Oh, a bit more tender through there. Oh yes. 197. Okay folks, well that's that. First time cooking on the Kamado. And I think we've come out alright. I would have liked to have given this probably another 25 to 30 minutes to really get it up to that nice tenderness. But by all means, and to all intents and purposes, she's good to go. So we'll give her a wee rest up, and I'll come back to you in about 10 minutes, and we'll cut this thing up, and we'll have a wee look at it. So right here, folks, the moment of truth.
Moment of truth has come.
Nice and hard.
That was very nice.
Oh, listen to that.
I can't wait to try it again.
Give her a flip over. Look at that. Beautiful on the underside.
Next time I try it. I'm actually going to feel it. It's going to be good. I won't get back on it. It isn't addictive. It's
Nice. Oh, struggling to get through that crackle.
It's the tobacco that you have in it.
The result you get from it.
And you see the inside of that, folks.
The sensation, the
To
feeling.
be careful, I don't want
The
to
reason I stopped is because it's
drip the juice all over the floor, but take a look at that. Look at that. It is amazing. Righto, let's carve a piece off this.
There's a shop down in Butler. They sell them under the counter. Much more mixed up there. Of brownies and that.
Folks, that is the best piece of pork I've ever cooked. The rub, outstanding. The crunch, perfect.
They just sell anything under the counter. It's just
David Ong, thank you very much, mate. That is the best piece of pork I've ever done. First time on the Kamado, fantastic. I'm sorry for talking with my mouth full, fellas, but that is divine. That surpasses. She's going to be tasty, boys. Fantastic. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.